Hey, what's going on, y'all? It is Barb Meets World, and I'm back again with another recap and review for Married to Medicine. This is season 10, episode 17, The Reunion, part 3, uncensored and extended, honey. Let's get into it, shall we? Hello, hello, hello. How are you guys on this lovely Monday? This is the last time, y'all, until next season that we will be talking about Married to Medicine. So I'm going to try to make it a good one, but I don't have that much to say because honestly, this could have been 2 parts. This could have been a part and a half if I'm being 100% frank with y'all. It just wasn't giving what a 3-part reunion should give. But before we get into all of that, you guys, go ahead, hit that like button. For me, it helps my channel, it helps my content, it helps all of the things. It helps get my content out to viewers like yourself who have no idea that we're over here. Yeah, okay. So hit that like button for me. Thank you. Also, if you would like to continue this conversation after the premiere of this video, then why don't you continue that conversation right down in the comments and I'm gonna talk right back with you. Okay. Also, if you're not subscribed to the channel, go ahead, hit that subscription button, please, and thank you. And while you're at it, hit that notification bell as well. All pertinent information will be in the description box below. And let's get into it, shall we? Okay, so we saw last week that Apollo was going to be making his grand entrance for whatever reason. I still don't know, y'all. I don't know why he was in attendance. I really could have done without him being in attendance, but nonetheless, he was there. So let's talk about it. Phaedra says she invited him because the girls, they keep wondering, there keeps being all this talk of where's Apollo, where's Apollo, where's Apollo. So guess what? She pulled a quad and made him appear. Okay, so that's why he's here. That's what she says. Okay, whatever. Toya asked about Apollo and made like little jokes or whatever, but Toya had to let Phaedra know, like, hey, I didn't make any jokes or laugh or anything like that. I just asked a question. It's you that always gets defensive. You take offense every time someone asks a question about him. And in all actuality, I was just trying to get to know you. No funny business, no nothing, no shade, none of that. Okay, girl, whatever. Moving right along. Apollo, he jumped in at that moment to clear the air, kind of, and to kind of give a little bit more context and make us, I guess, understand why he's there. Still don't know, but anyway, he lets us know that their relationship is impeccable. Yes, his words, impeccable. At this point, although in the beginning they were meeting at Chick-fil-A and it was kind of like, they have come a long way. He says that, right? But then in the next sentence, we find out that although Shireen is okay with him being there, the blending is not really, it's not very blended up at all. There's still chunks floating all through the mixture here because Phaedra says that her and the new wife, Shireen, they don't have a relationship. And according to her, will they have a relationship? I don't think so. Was exactly what Phaedra said. So we can really just leave it right there because I really don't even think that's worth unpacking at this point, because if you guys have been paying attention to the blogs in the last couple weeks, Apollo was seen creeping around with somebody else that wasn't the wife. So does it really matter? Not really. And I will say, I feel like Phaedra doesn't care and she's not trying to give it the light of day because she has an issue with old girl because they started messing around or whatever while her and Apollo were still married. So I can kind of understand where she's coming from with that, if that's the case, y'all. But nonetheless, they have it to where it works for them. So that's what a lot of these cast members, a lot of these ladies, men, whoever on this show need to kind of come from that angle, if you ask me, where it's like, okay, that works for y'all. I'm going to leave it at that. Stop trying to compare it to what you got going on, because you're only going to make yourself look crazy as hell, is what I've deduced from watching this show. Just saying. Apollo was locked up for 5.5 years. He got sent to the SHU. He was locked up with Joe Giudice. They didn't get to really connect or anything because, like I said, he got sent to the SHU for approximately 100 days at least. He can't tell us why he got sent to the hole, though, because that's something for off camera. Whatever. Moving on. Talia, I follow her on TikTok. She had asked the question about what Cecil meant about saying that Dr. G leveled up after, or I shouldn't say after, when he got with Sweet Tea. He tries to say that it was more so about him seeing Dr. G just in a really good space. He's super happy now. It wasn't to shade Quad. He likes her. He also likes Sweet Tea. So there was no malicious intent behind him saying that. Do I believe that? No. But if it was good enough for Quad in this setting, we're just going to keep it with that. I love what Quad said on Watch What Happens Live, though. If y'all didn't catch it last night, go ahead and run it back. She pretty much read Dr. G and Sweet Tea's relationship for exactly what it is. He wanted somebody who is young, impressionable, who doesn't really have a lot of her own mind to really navigate through the relationship and see his manipulation and bullshit, if you will. So they're a good fit for each other. It's like the match made in heaven, I guess you could say, for them. Moving right along. Then we revisit the whole $4K a month conversation, since all parties are on stage at this point. To sum it all up, Phaedra apparently never explicitly asked for the $4,000 a month directly. This was also back in 2002, y'all. What had happened was she kind of just broke it down and let him know, hey, this is my current maintenance bill, $4,000. So I'm going to just put my standards, my expectations out here on the table right here, plain as day in the beginning, so that there's no room for the, oh, I didn't know or anything like that. I'm guessing that's what I took from it, I should say. So him knowing that he ain't really had like that back then, because I think he said this was around the time he was doing residency and stuff like that. This was when he was just beginning his career or whatever, that he didn't have it like that. So he let her know. And that's kind of why it never progressed further. Nothing romantic ever happened, at least mutually. He lets us know. What else? Did you see his face though, or her face, Sweet Tea's face, when he was saying all of this though? When he was like, well, maybe I should have lied back then. Who knows where we would be today? Did you see her face looking twisted up? Like, girl, nobody wants this man. Like, when you close your eyes and you look and you imagine your perfect image of your perfect guy. You mean to tell me you really envision Dr. G? Get out of here with that. Anyway, then they discussed Toya and Eugene's relationship dynamic, because like I said before, we always need to bring up everybody's differences in their relationship and how this couple is doing things this way. And that's really not how you're supposed to do it. But at the end of the day, if it works for you, it works for you. Don't say it if you don't mean it. I think that Toya actually does mean it when she says that, because that's exactly how they lead their relationship. But nonetheless, Eugene is cool with it. It works for him. He has no complaints. He knew exactly what he signed up for. And because he always lets us know that, y'all, every time it is brought up, the whole Toya, you need to be nicer to him. Toya, you're always ragging on Eugene. Toya's always complaining. Da-da-da-da-da. Because we always say that, and because we're always met with what he said on that stage right then and there, my hands are clean. I'm off of it. If they like it, I love it. Period. Also, at this time, Dr. G, or should I say Andy, checks on Dr. G, who apparently had made mention that it was going to be kind of awkward with Quad being out there, you know, her being his ex-wife and all. I am so freaking glad, y'all, that this is when Quad jumped in to yet again defend herself because nobody else is on stage, and lets it be known, like, okay, you knew good and damn well that I was going to be on this show when you signed up this second go around. You consciously signed up to be on the show that you knew that I already was on. So I don't want to hear all that, is basically what I gathered from what she was saying. We don't have time for that. We're not going to make it all about coddling your feelings right now because I was always a staple on this cast before you, after you, all that. I shouldn't really say before. They came on together. Okay. I'll give him that. But since he's left the picture, who's still remained on this show? Quad. So nobody gives a if you came back in the picture and now you're feeling a little weird because it didn't really go off how you expected. And people are still going up for Quad. Anyway. He didn't have Sweet Tea sign a prenup, and he tried to tell this idiot that, you know, really you didn't, even after she, you know, complimented your bag. You still didn't get one? No? Okay. This fool tried to say, well, I like her bag too. Do you? Really? Okay. Sure. Quad apologizes to Eugene for the accusation she made. We get a little flashback of that. Yada, yada, yada. I'm still not buying the whole we would have possibly made it if I was on this show versus on the Real Housewives of Atlanta that Phaedra is trying to sell us. But again, she needs to make it make sense as to why she's here on this cast. So that's her grasping at straws, in my opinion. And that's why Paulo was also like, yeah, this is news to me. I thought she wiped her hands clean. We was a done deal when all that stuff went down. Yeah, you're right. You're absolutely right, Apollo. Don't let what she says right now sway you a different way. You're 100% right with that one. You might not be right all the time, but you're right with that one. Moving on. Hilton Head. Oh my gosh, I'm so sick of Hilton Head. Right off the bat, though, Heavenly jumps in to say to Simone, you know, I don't think you were being malicious. Jackie needs to speak the F up for herself. Yeah, okay, we can all agree on that, right? But I was just trying to let you know what was up. Simone's thing is she doesn't need to hear this from Heavenly. She needs to hear this from someone who she's been friends with since the late 90s, somebody that she goes way back with. This shouldn't be coming from a third party, especially, quite frankly, when she don't even really like that third party. Actually, let me scratch the really. She doesn't even like that third party. Because let's be real, y'all. I feel like that's a big element of this whole thing. Also, is the fact that it came from Heavenly, somebody who she doesn't like, and quite frankly, I don't really think she's too fond of Jackie. For real. Their relationship will never be the same again, y'all. And I think that was the only thing that wasn't brought up during this back and forth between them. That's the thing that Simone won't just come out and say. And then Alicia tries to jump in. And I'm like, Simone, although you have pissed me off during this reunion, please, please, please go ahead and rip her a new one when you guys get backstage, because y'all do know what happened, right? This is all a matter of production coordinated that trip or whatever. That's why Simone couldn't pick a new place. We all know that production handles these types of things on these shows. We know that, right? Okay. So because of that, now Simone is getting all the heat because she can't just outwardly come out and say it was production's fault and throw them under the bus or anything like that. So she just has to eat it. So that's why when Alicia comes in, I guess, to bring it all home and to kind of let Simone know her deficiencies in the matter, I'm just like, Simone, please tell her, put her on game once this whole thing wraps, because she is just so, ugh. I already told y'all last week that Dr. Alicia is somebody who I was super eager to hear from until I did hear from her. She is a beautiful liar. She's a beautiful liar. I say that because right after that, we got into relationship dynamics. And this is why I opened this whole video up with saying, just because somebody's relationship doesn't make sense to you, reverse that. Your relationship might not make sense to somebody else. And in this case, Toya, it wasn't a matter of Toya passing judgment onto Alicia and Kemma as much as it was, he's been super vocal about what he needs, what his expectations are, and all of this. You've coupled with the fact that you've also voiced your concerns, your issues with y'all's marriage and all of that. We're only going off of what y'all have thrown out there. That gives us room to talk about it. Had you not throw it out there like that, no one will have anything to say. So while you keep sitting on the stage and giving very much bothered every time somebody lets you know that, it's just so mind-boggling to me, because none of us would be saying any of this if that's not what y'all showed us this whole season. Alicia, Kimmel was not motherfucking joking when he said what he said. He wasn't joking about that. And like I just said, your energy reads very much, I give an F about other people's opinions, because, and I've said it before and I couldn't quite put my finger on what she does, but it's like in these moments, she tries to shut Ish down with the truth or like a counter read or whatever. And it just falls flat for me every time, because I don't understand why Eugene's penis need to come up as your defense in this. Because one, you weren't even here for that. Two, no one was even talking about that. Three, again, we're only saying this not as a read, but based off of the truth that you told us. Anyway, moving on. And the whole part about the oral sex and y'all being medical professionals that have seen oral injuries related to oral sex and all of that. Are you serious? Oh my God, I would have laughed you off the stage if I was them. They went real easy on you because, oh my God. Girl, what? I was so confused, y'all. And by no means am I saying that doesn't occur. I am not that ignorant to know that, to not know that, yes, one can sustain trauma from being a little rough with the oral. Okay, I am very much aware of that. However, y'all said you've done it before. And I really appreciated when Toya said, what does that have to do with y'all's marriage though? Like, what? Because what are you saying, girl? What are you saying? She just be sounding crazy as hell. And I hate that for her. Anyway, Heavenly's advice is to fabricate for the greater good. And when Damon's asked if this is what Heavenly does, he says he doesn't care about none of that. He's confident. And as long as he feels good about taking care of her and his kids, he's good. I feel like Damon gives this approach, and I'm not calling him a liar or anything like that, but it's like this is his approach to everything, y'all. So it's like hard to tell when he's BSing and he's being truthful, if you get what I'm saying. Okay. He looks like he's a person that can be really good at saying what you want to hear just so you get off his back, or just so you don't jump on his back, I should say. Anyway, more throwback clips. I do agree though when he said that certain things are none of your business when you're on these shows. Although I do think you signed up to be transparent and an open book, I feel like that there's an extent to that. Yes, the day-to-day stuff, of course, you signed this contract to let us in, so honey, let me in. But things that have nothing to do with daily life and stuff like that, I don't think that you have to show us your bank statements or the intricacies of your anything that has to do with the people around you, because at the end of the day, only the people on this show in the front row are the ones that signed up to open their lives. So I do think that that applies in some situations. It's the people, the Robins of the world that get on these shows and play in our faces. That's where it doesn't apply. That's where, no, you need to let us know. Yeah. Okay. They brought up how, it's been 10 seasons, and did they think that, especially the doctors in the room, did they ever think that, like, whoa, is this going to bring any like negativity onto their professional images and all that? Simone says, no, that was never a thought in her mind until the whole Toya and Mariah fight, which was literally episode 1, season 1. But I can understand that. You don't really know what you're getting yourself into until you're knees deep in it with certain things in life. I think we can agree on that. But if I was her, that definitely would have been a wake-up call for me. Like, I see where we're going with this. But although you were amongst the cast members at that time, I do think it all boils down to what the individual person plays in the situation, their role in the situation. If Simone was in there throwing haymakers and all that, then I feel like, yeah, you should be concerned about your professional image. But if you're just an innocent bystander with the ish, hey, I'm here to do a job. At the end of the day, like, that's what I would have said. But anyway, Curtis wishes his cheating incident was off camera. Yeah, we know. I bet you do. Dr. G regrets going on. She can cook. Yeah. Was that supposed to be a dig at Quad when Dr. G brought up how Sweet Tea can cook? Because I'm like, Quad will cook a lot of y'all on that stage out your kitchen. So, okay. Then I don't remember what was brought up, but I remember Heavenly and Sweet Tea began to go at it again at this moment. Oh, I think it was Andy asked if there's any hope for them and their relationship or anything like that being repaired. Sweet Tea jumps off the porch with, Heavenly needs to shut the F up, and she don't know what she's talking about, and she'll do this, that, and the other thing, and roaring, y'all. And Heavenly, of course, she gonna roar right back. And I was, oh my goodness, I jumped off the couch in laughter when Heavenly said, "Do it," because Jackie gonna get up, and everybody just started laughing. I'm like, do you not know by now, Sweetie, that she is literally playing your face and making fun of you right to your face? Because Sweetie was actually serious and mad, just like she has been this whole time. And instead of matching them correctly with the right comebacks and the things that really can shade them being Jackie, for instance, anytime Jackie brings up Dr. G going in hotel rooms, or Dr. G this, that, and the other thing, or trying to throw shade her way, she needs to bring up Curtis and say the same thing to him, or the same thing to Jackie, in reversed. Heavenly, that's going to be a little bit more difficult for her. But in this case, she shouldn't have started roaring off the bat with all of that, because you're no match for Heavenly. Like I keep saying, girl, like it's embarrassing at this point. But you can kind of see how a lot of the, I guess you'd say, OGs in this group, you can see how they regard the newer additions. Because I feel like Toya met Dr. Alicia with that same energy as well before, when she brought up Eugene's penis size or whatever. It's just like, you're not even worth me batting an eye at or getting that up in arms about, versus you see how they handle it differently when it's someone like Quad, somebody that holds weight, although they don't see it for that person, although they are upset with that person, they know that that person's name rings bells, holds weight, however you want to put it, versus Alicia, who puts her foot in her mouth every single time she opens her mouth, and Sweet Tea, Miss Little Access to the Money. Like, you see, I wouldn't get up in arms either, because the jokes write themselves as it pertains to the Alicias and the Sweet Teas, unfortunately. Moving on. Phaedra's playing the next couple strip, I guess. They're not ish for showing that sister circle speech again. I'm like, can we not dig up old skeletons? I'm with Toya. Can we just move forward without bringing up the past every 5 minutes at this point? Because all those situations are tired. Half those people that were involved in those past situations are no longer even on the show anymore. New people on the show, and it's just so tired and boring. And that's why this season didn't go off as planned, because it was just constant blast from the past, if you ask me. Sweet Tea was asked if she felt like she was being tested at the beginning of the season. She said yes. During her dress fitting, she felt like Toya and Phaedra were being shady, and not a lot of Black women get to endure that moment and get married and have a wedding. I'm not going to get as bothered by this comment as I did last night. When she said that, I almost blacked out, because I'm like, how dare you set us back 2,500 years? Like, get her off the screen. Get her off the fucking screen. In the world full of Megan Thee Stallions, I am the Lamb of God. Okay. Keep telling yourself that. Phaedra's comment about Toya being a 10x expert, the curtain rod falling. There was some friendly. There was some funny banter at the end, y'all. But for the most part, like I already said, this Oh yeah, and we had a moment with Sweet Tea shouting out pretty much everybody except for Quad, which I was so just unnecessary. I get really bothered when the ladies on these shows go out of their way to do unnecessary shit, if you know what I mean. And that was unnecessary. We would have known good and well who you meant if you would have just said everybody. We would have known who you meant. Everybody, obviously excluding Quad, because y'all don't have a relationship like that. But for you to go around in the circle and then omit Quad's name is just like, for what? Like, that was just so corny. Corny as hell. But anyway, y'all, that's really all I got to say about this. It was what it was. If you can't tell, I am good to go on hiatus with Married to Medicine. This season was what it was. Hopefully season 11 is even better, because we're kind of at rock bottom right now, if you ask me. We're at like level 1, I feel like, with it. I'll give them that much. We're at level 1 with it, which was really bittersweet, being as though this is my first time reviewing the show. Hopefully next season is better, though. I really, really hope, because I don't know. I don't know if I can stick around for a whole another season of this level of entertainment. We need to kick it up a few notches. But nonetheless, you guys, let me know what you guys thought of my commentary. Let me know what you thought of the episode in general, what you thought of the season in general. Let's give some ratings on a scale of 1 to 10, the season overall. What did you guys think on a scale of 1 to 10? I would say, for me, there was like 14 episodes? Yeah, of the regular season. Out of the 14 episodes, I only found not even half entertaining, unfortunately. And that sucks again to say about this show. But because I say that, I'll have to give like the season, and this is really me being kind, like a 6.5 out of 10. This is not a season that I would feel the need to continue to come back and revisit. There was no huge crazy moments with this season, honestly. But with that being said, y'all, let me know what you would rate this episode or this season as a whole, scale 1 to 10, in the comments below. And I will see you guys later. Bye.